Hi everybody, welcome back to a Sunday Sews. So last week I didn't get my weekly makes video sorted out in time just because I was busy with work, and then they have not felt 100% for a few days. But I wanted to share with you one of the things that I've made this week and to do a bit of a comparison with similar things that I've made in the past. So I hope that this is something that you'll enjoy. I quite like it when I do something different and I can compare it, and there might be another one of those coming up, fingers crossed, next week, so watch out for that. So this wasn't in my plans for February, but one of the patterns that I kept getting drawn to were the lane pants from Sydney Graham. So I watch Sydney Graham, I watch her YouTube channel, and made the bestie bag with her sew along, and I kind of like her vibe, and I just wanted to try it. So if you've not come across it before, obviously I'll pop some line drawings in as we go through. But the lane pants are just a typical wide leg pant. They've got that slanted, sloped pocket at the front. Very casual. They do have the option of putting combat pockets onto the side, so you make them look a bit like combat trousers. And I guess you could do that with any pair of similar sort of pants. But I've made in the past the Tilly and the Buttons Safaya trousers from the Make It Simple book. I'll drop a picture in of those. And I find them absolutely fine. They were the first pair of wide leg sort of floaty trousers that I made. I've made them in all sorts of different fabric bases, chambray, viscose, chalice. And yeah, I was really happy with those as a pair of trousers. Then Friday Pattern Company a few years ago launched the Saguaro set, and I did make the set. The top's a little bit too cropped for me, but I did hack that into various other things, including a dress. But what I did do was make an awful lot between now and then of the pants. Now I did make them, they've got the sloped pockets as well at the front, where I'm fairly sure the Make It Simple Safaya ones have an inseam pocket. I'm not a big pocket fan, so I didn't make those. And what I did do after the first pair of Saguaro pants was just cut them straight up at the front and make them without those in. So I've made them as jogging pants in sweat fabric, and I made, I think last summer for my holidays, I might have made 4 pairs, a couple of which I've got to show you. Now, some of these have been hung up since last sort of autumn time, so if they're a little bit creased, that's fine. I'm okay with that. I'm not wearing them just yet, but I'm heading into spring makes. And I was kind of thinking, yeah, I'd like to give that pattern a go. So I had this fabric in my stash. I think it might still be available from First for Fabrics. It's just a black spotted viscose. If it's still available, I'll pop it in the description box so I can share that with you. And it was one of those kind of fabrics that nothing ventured, nothing gained. So I thought, if they're too tight, they're too tight. I'm not going to worry about it. I think I might have got it when it was on offer in a sale anyway, or when there was a general sale on. So I will pop some pictures in as I go through. The top that I'm wearing with them is the one that I'm wearing now, which is the London top by Fibre Mood, which it's quite a t-shirty style, but a woven top. And I don't know how well you'll be able to see. It has a little tie option at the back. So I've made it with and without the tie, but actually I'm being more drawn to it in the traditional way with the tie. So I like how this fits on me. This is just a plain white viscose. I think this was from Pound Fabrics. So what do I love and not love about the Safaya and the Saguaro that made me look for another pattern that was very similar? So I liked the slightly more wide fit of the Saguaro pants. Not a lot in it, but when it came out, that's what I preferred about it. So I kind of moved away from the Safaya to the Saguaro. Names are going to be very confusing, aren't they? But last year I did make one more pair. I think this was the last pair of the Safaya pants. So these have quite a narrow elastic sort of channel. I've just done that sort of top stitching to stop the elastic turning over. I did make these without pockets in, and I had them on yesterday. I had them on with a pink like sweatshirt design but in t-shirt fabric in this colour, and I wear them with a plain black shirt over the top, and they're absolutely fine. But I do, as I say, like the floatiness a little bit more of the Saguaro pants. So if you were around and watched my channel last year, I think, I'm sure I made 4 pairs, of which I've got 2 of these here. So I've definitely got some pictures of these when I was wearing them in France and the other one. So I will drop some pictures of those in. that was the main thing that I preferred about them. I did make them with the slanted pockets, but sometimes I find with the viscose fabric that those pockets don't lie as flat as you would want them to. And I do find that with these. Now, lots of you will probably be shouting at the screen going, we've got no problem with them. But that was just my finding. I can only speak as I find. And as I'm not really bothered about pockets, yeah, I kind of settled on not putting them in. It does make it a super fast make. They're great for pyjama bottoms, that kind of thing. The one thing that I don't like about them, and I could alter, but I can't be bothered to, is that they come too high up. So it's weird because the rise feels right. Well, I think it does, but I kind of feel like they end up sort of up here somewhere. Now, I don't mind like having big knickers and stuff like that, but I just find that I'm constantly pulling them up. So maybe the rise isn't quite right, and that's maybe why I keep pulling them up. So I thought, what have I got to lose by trying the lane pants and just seeing what they like? And I'm really pleased that I did. So I've got them here to show you. I've just put a label in the back because the fabric is quite busy and I keep thinking which are the back and which are the front, but they have got the pockets. So it looks a bit like it's a rough edge, but actually it's the self edge, if you can see it there. So I put one of the Sewn Is My Superpower labels in that I've had for a little while, and you've got your pockets. Now I think the pockets are a little more discreet. They're quite deep. Not too deep, but quite deep. But I feel like compared to the Saguaro pants, this is shallower. Now, at first I thought, am I going to be able to get my hand in there? But I can really easily. So I like the pockets, and therefore, because I did it in a viscose deliberately because I wanted to see how flat that laid. Now, the only thing I didn't like, and I'm not great with notches, I've got to say, but the pocket bag comes in one piece. You fold it wrong sides together, sew it, fold it over again, so you form a French seam to go on the inside. And then when you do that fold to fit it onto the front panel, there wasn't any notches to say where to put it on and fold it back. So I kind of just went with where it was going to go. Does that make sense? So that's the only thing I would say. If you were new to sewing and you'd not made that before, it could do with those notches on. That's the only feedback I would have found quite useful. But I'm really pleased with it. I'm pleased with how the pockets lie. The waist isn't as deep because, I mean, that's an alteration you can make to the Saguaro pants, but one of the features of it when you wear it as a set is the deep waistband of the trousers and the deep waistband of the top, but I'm kind of finding it a little bit too deep. So this was kind of midway between the two. I've just done that stitching round again, as you can see, but it like a really simple construction, and I can see me making them in a lot more fabrics because I feel like the rise is right on me. So I think this is going to become my go-to pattern. Now, you could crop them if you wanted to. The only thing I would say is it is made, when you watch Sid Graham's video, she says it is made for around 5'6", 5'7". So I think she says for anybody between 5'6" and 5'8", you won't need to do an adjustment on length. Now, I think I've just moved it. I cut 6 inches off the bottom of these and then did a little, have I cut it too short? But actually I just overlocked the ends round and turned them, literally just turned them over, and they're absolutely fine. So I've adjusted my pattern to say next time, like I'll probably cut it off the actual paper pattern, take 5 inches off, and then I can overlock them, lock them and put like probably a double hem in or a deeper hem, something like that. But I'm really, really, really happy with them. So I'll drop some pictures in. I've just tucked my top in so you can see it. So sometimes I'd wear it out with a shirt over, sometimes I'd wear it tucked in. But I feel like fabric at the waist isn't swamping me. It comes in nicely into the elastic and into the waist without feeling like there's loads of fabric in there. Now, I think I cut a size 20 in these, and I can't remember what size I've cut in the other ones, but if I can remember, I'll drop that into the description box. But I just went with, I checked my size measurements and then I went on to the finished garment measurements, and I think Sid does say go with your hip measurement because obviously you've got to make sure that's the wide enough one, so that's what I did. yeah, and I'm really pleased. Apart from taking some off the length, I've got no adjustments to make to them. Now they're a simple pair of trousers, they're not a complex make, but if you're looking for something like this, I think this is probably going to be my part of my spring summer wardrobe, and then going into the winter I'd probably make this in some thicker fabrics. Yeah, it could be a good one to check out. So I thought it was quite useful to give you a little bit of a comparison between the three that I've made. There are lots of others out there, but sometimes it's just finding the one that's the fit and the rise for you. So to give you a bit of a comparison for me, I used to be 5'6.5", 167, but I think I'm probably 5'6" now, and I'm generally wearing around a size 18 in a UK size. So as I said, I did go with the 20 with this, but generally for a dress I would go with an 18. So I hope that gives you a bit of a starting point for me. I know lots of people have bought this pattern recently, so I think it could be one that you see a lot of over the summer. So if you've made it yourself, drop a message in the comments, let me know how you found it, or let me know what your favourite pattern of this sort of style is, because yeah, I'm quite happy to make like the wide leg pants with the zip, but I don't really need it. I quite like that quick pull on style, shirt over the top over something like this, or a little vest or something. It's ideal. I work from home, I'm self-employed, so I don't need to be kind of ultra glammed up most of the time. So I hope that's a helpful vlog for you today, and yeah, drop some messages in the comments, let me know your thoughts on the lane pants or any of the pants that you've been making, and I'll catch up with you really soon.